What's up, folks? What's going on? We're back here, 10-minute offense. Javon, Steve, and Jules. We're talking some NBA today. So big trade yesterday happened around 1 o'clock, completely shifting the power balance in the NBA. So we're gonna go over the trade, get into some of our local hometown Lakers a bit too, and we're gonna have a good time today. So Jules, what do you think about what happened in the league yesterday in the association?
Very crazy trade, but you could kind of see how Harden was leaning towards it just from his statements on Tuesday after getting whopped by the Lakers. You could tell that Harden gave up. He didn't have any energy on the floor, and he took that to the press conference and he let it be known. And I showed my dad, and he was just saying they should trade him that night. And what do you know? Wasserman and them, they were working on a trade and got him out. So it's going to be interesting to see three top 10 ISO players in the league all on one team. Like, what were you guys' thoughts on it?
Well, I have Harden in fantasy hoops. He dropped. I actually don't like him, but so I've been trying to trade him all season. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna work. I'm old school, man. Like I also hate the fact that players getting paid so much money can just like kind of F off and not really care. And then that's their way of getting traded to what people think is a super team. I don't know how. I mean, I think they'd be better off without Kyrie actually. If it was just KD and Harden, I think they might like I would have more confidence in them, but I don't know. Kyrie just seems like a head case, and just as an old school fan, I don't love how players can be on a team. It sucks. I've always said this. It sucks as a fan. Like if you're a Rockets fan, then you end up resenting this guy. You're like, you're like the team. You're like, I don't want this guy here, so get rid of him. So yeah, now they're like we talked about before we started. Now they're kind of in possibly in rebuild mode, with all the draft picks and stuff that the Rockets got.
Yeah. It's interesting because now we live in this time where, yeah, you can basically bitch and moan and get out of a situation if you're good enough, where people care enough, where GMs care enough, where they want to bring you in. I think for the Rockets, they've obviously hit the reset button, and hey, good for them because this guy, he didn't even want to play there anymore. And it kind of sucks because Harden is a baller. I mean, he's one of the most gifted scorers the NBA's ever seen. Now the Nets have three of them. The problem is they all need the ball. So I guess as we kind of transition to what it's going to look like for Brooklyn, they traded away a lot of their depth. One of the things I think that made Brooklyn a top bet maybe in the East to meet the Bucks or whoever you had coming out of the East was that they had a deep rotation. Obviously, Dinwiddie got hurt, but I don't know. They're going to be stretched a little bit thin now, and I think it's going to work. And then they're going to hit the playoffs and be like, "Uh-oh, well now what?" All three of
Yeah,
us can't shoot the ball.
yeah. Allen,
So
Allen and Levert are ballers, man.
Yeah.
yeah,
In Brooklyn, they weren't playing any defense before this trade. And obviously, they were a high scoring offense before Harden got there. So their offense is going to elevate as well because I believe all three guys know they have to sacrifice something to know like
yeah.
they have to win. And Kyrie and KD have a ring, and that's what Harden wants. So I feel like he's going to be able to sacrifice something, but it's the defensive side. Like you said, Javon, in the playoffs, 7-game series, you get to focus in on each player. Yeah, you can't double them, but obviously you can make them pay on the defensive end and get some stops. So
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
see that hurting Brooklyn
I still think KD's the best player on that team.
easy by far,
You guys think so too?
Yeah,
without a question.
even
Yeah.
off the big injury, he's produced pretty much every game he's played.
Yeah, he's that dude.
Yeah, for sure. What's up with Kyrie though, man? The guy like is disappearing as an employer. I'd be like, so are you working here still, or what's going on?
Yeah, but that's the thing when you are like one of the best, like top 20. I think that's what disconnects as we hit the 5-minute mark here. Some fans, or maybe I'm speaking about myself personally, from like fully investing into pro sports anymore is because you see that type of behavior and you're like, wait, well, I can't get away with that at work. You know, like if I just don't show up for 4 days, like, you know, they're done with me, you know. I mean, I'm the LeBron of my job, actually, so maybe I get a little more leeway. But still, you know, it's just, it makes it hard, you know, and that's why there's like people hate certain teams. You know, it's like, who, I don't want to root for Kyrie, you know.
Right.
So that's just me. Maybe, you know, I'm just old school.
Well, we need the old school opinion on this show.
Exactly.
I mean, you guys agree, or I mean,
I want to kind of say, like, I see where Kyrie's coming from. I know he was caught at his mom or his sister and his dad's birthday party, but he was kind of like saying how he missed last Wednesday was because of the storming of the Capitol. So like how Kyrie, he was active like during the BLM protests and saying like how he wouldn't play in the bubble. So I see him like just on his activist level, and like how he would say being woke and his third eye open and just not looking at basketball.
That's the kind of guy he is. He's very thoughtful. He's different from a lot of NBA players in that sense. So, you know, it'd just be hard as a coach though to figure out like, all right, well, who's showing up? You know, that's 28 points a game I got to worry about.
well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's all good. I'm not dogging any of that type of stuff, but every report that I was reading was that like Steve Nash, that nobody knew where he was.
Yeah.
So like, if you're gonna, whatever you're doing, if I'm gonna take today off of work for whatever reason, right? I want to go protest down at friggin' Whole Foods, you know, I still should tell my boss, like, hey, I'm not gonna be in today, you know. So I think that's where
The communication factor.
Yeah, the normal fan, you know, I'm in a group text with my best friends and it's just like everybody has the same feeling. It's kind of like, well, these dudes make millions of dollars, you know, they force a trade, they get to do whatever they want, you know. And so it's hard to always be like, yay, you know.
So let's switch to this then. Do you think this makes the Nets the best team in the league?
No, this is good to switch because we only got a few minutes anyway. I still think the Lakers are the best team.
Yeah, Lakers still the best team.
Like a week ago, we were talking about chemistry and our biggest concern.
This is an LA show, everyone, just to let you know.
Yeah, sure. Go LA with AD on it. Our biggest concern last week, the three of us, was basically defense for the Lakers. Since then, since that show, they've like put the clamps on and blown every team out that they've played.
I think they watched it, man. I think Vogel.
Yeah. Somebody, you know,
Yes,
Caruso
sir.
watched it.
Right.
So I still think chemistry is such a huge factor. I think there's other teams that are going to be good. You know, I think the Clippers are still going to be solid, but I still have the Lakers as the favorite. The Nets don't frighten me yet.
Yeah, they haven't played a game yet. So, Jules, you said you're on the same page. Lakers still the best team.
And then like in the East, I have Philly, Milwaukee. I feel like Boston, they have too much respect for Brooklyn, like for KD, Harden, and Kyrie. So I feel like Brooklyn to get Boston in a 7-game series, but it'll be a tough one. I'm just saying for the respect and young youth that Boston has.
Yeah, I would love to see that series, man.
Especially with Kemba back too. So
yeah. Kyrie going back to Boston. But there wouldn't, I mean, who knows? Maybe there will be fans by that point, hopefully. But I would love to see Boston just ripping into Kyrie. But the Lakers, man, it's a complete roster. The Nets have obviously 3 superstars. We still have the most complete roster. I mean, we did what we were supposed to against the Rockets and Thunder, beat up on them. So definitely still rocking with the Lake show.
And Lakers got stronger this season too. Like some don't
How
want to
so?
believe it with Marcus Saul, Schroeder,
Oh yeah.
Montrez. Like they got deeper.
There's really no, I mean, we don't have like a straight up knockdown shooter, I don't think. That's the only thing I could say, but they're good enough.
Exactly. They're hitting the three. They could hit threes.
The only other thing is there's no backup rim protector, like outside
Oh,
of
that's
AD.
true, Steve. Yeah, we're gonna miss Dwight.
But I don't know if that means they don't make the NBA Finals because of that. I'm not sure.
I feel like they will because Mark, he's that facilitator. You bring that big out and catch LeBron AD in the post.
Yeah.
Or shooter cutting someone.
We got like a minute left. Another key is COVID, right? Like if you can get through, I don't know if Caruso had it earlier in the season or if like the Lakers are really good at keeping a wrap on that stuff, but I know he missed games. So I don't know if there was
health and safety protocols.
Yeah, so close contact. I'm not sure, but like if the teams that can get through that throughout the season with minimal guys missing due to COVID is also key,
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to make up all those games at the end.
Right. So there's already like KD's missed games. There's like big name players, Tatum,
Zion.
Yeah, there's big name guys that have missed. So
Sure.
Anyway, we got like 20 seconds left. If you guys got anything else.
No, I think that's good. We're gonna do some NFL now and get ready for this big weekend of playoff football divisional round.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Yep.